give you guys a shot of the overlook out here on these rocks in the morning. Getting a little sun, doing a little morning stretches, doing some down dogs and some up dogs, a couple push-ups just to get the day going and blood flowing. It's been beautiful just to wake up and take advantage of this beautiful scenery and start the day off right. We got jacks that just pulled up today, and we're finishing up here on mine. They're running the wires down to the batteries.
Did you get this apart?
It's ready. I took the seatbelt off, so yeah, there shouldn't be anything holding it, I don't think.
Okay, we don't have to pull this all the way back. I'd rather kind of leave it. Now wait, before you do that though, what am I gonna do right
so you
here?
need to go behind these wires here too.
Okay, but before we figure all that out, we need to get this penetration knocked out.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
So what's gonna happen is, that's metal. Gosh, they made this. This is a really well-made camper, man. I can tell you from being underneath it, and then what I'm seeing here, they really made this. It weighs a lot probably, but I really like how they made it. They didn't make this cheap. What year
one
is
of the
it?
better brands out there.
It's Xplorer did the conversion in 2001, and they stopped making them in 2003.
Because I'm gonna drill a hole right here, and then he's got something right there too, though. What goes right here, Mike? What was right here?
That was that little pocket.
It's a square
on the
pocket
side.
like the other
See
side.
the other side over there.
Exactly on the other
Underneath
side.
behind that cabinet door.
Oh, so we get to hide. Then I'm not that worried about it. So what we'll do is we'll drill a hole right here. Okay, so the install is basically complete. We have to replace the molding and we have little things that we need to address. But now we're gonna power the switch, and in order to power the switch properly, there's two things. If you have this switch at home and you're watching this and you're saying, how do I do this to make it work right? There's a couple of nuances to pay very close attention to that will save you a lot of headache. Step one, power it to the battery first. Now you're saying to yourself, but I want to run the wires from the solar panel first. You can run the wires however you want. Just put the fuses in the inline fuse holders in. Battery first to power, and then photovoltaic to the controller. Now the second thing is, if you want to ground, if you set this system up and you're grounding it to the same system, to the same fuse block on the negative of the panels to the negative of the batteries, it'll just blink like it's blinking right now. Now it's coming up. We're at 12.8. We're at 12.8. Now I'm going to put the fuse in. It's just hanging down because we haven't mounted it yet. We're showing you the whole thing. Now I'm going to put this fuse in. 30 amp fuses. That's what you want. Go take your solar, your cardboards off, would you please?
Yep, got you.
We've got cardboard on. Larry put cardboard on the photovoltaic, the panels as a precaution. So he's got to remove those, and then this 12.8 will start doing things. It'll start cycling through its default settings. Now, this comes with some default settings, and we'll talk about those a little bit. The first one is it only absorbs for 2.5 hours. We're going to set it to absorb for 4.5 hours, and then I'm not sure what the default setting is on the high limit for the absorption, but we're going to make sure that it's 14.8. So he just took one off and you heard it click. He's going to have to get to his ladder and get to the other ones, but now it just jumped up to 12.9. Now it's putting in 3.7 amps. 3.7 amps are going into this. Now it's up to 3.2. Now it's at 14.2 amps are going into this. You must be getting the panels off. There, I just saw a piece of cardboard fall. Checking to see if Larry's gonna fall. There's the other piece of cardboard. Now what do we got? 13.3. It's jumping up. And 13.3, and then it's 13.0. Well, what's the 13.3, 13.0? 13.3 is the surface charge of the battery voltage, and 13.0 is how many amps are going in right now. And we don't even know if his panels are getting some shade. We didn't even try to position the vehicle for the maximum solar. So we know that he's getting 13 amps in, and it's at 13.4. Now we have to set it. So to set it, I'm gonna hold the set button, and I'm probably gonna have to look at the manual because I bet I can't do this off the top of my head. Absorption, 14.4. So 14.4 absorption, hold it for 5 seconds. And it's gonna start blinking fast. It's blinking fast. 5, 6, 7. This says it prefers 14.5, but 14.8 it'll take. I'm setting it to 14.8. So 14 absorption is 14.8. Now let's try, because it's not always gonna have optimum conditions for 14.8. So let's give it all the odds in its favor to get a good charge. Now we're at 14.4. Low F is 12.5. Pre. I'm looking for something that's going to come up 2.5. So that's 14.4. 2.0. Okay, 2.0. That'll take. I'll take that. Now I'm going to hold it. Now we're going to go. Screw that, man. Let's go up to frickin' 4.5 hours on that baby. So now it's going to absorb for 4.5 hours instead of 2.0, which is what it was set for the factory. Check your manuals, check your batteries. Don't go off of what I'm saying. But now we've calibrated this. Why did it go back to 2.0? Do I gotta set it after that? Let's try it.
There you go.
Okay, now let's make sure that we did the other one just to. So that would be what? Float. We don't care about float. Equal. We don't care about equal. It's gonna take it up to 15.2 on the equal. I don't know what that 2.0 is. We need the manual. Low, it shuts off at 12.5. $14.4. So that's it. So let's go this. And I'm gonna go to 14.8.
Oh, so it didn't set it the first time?
No. So then I set and hold it. See, I don't set these every day. I'm just trying to go off my memory. So now it's 14.8. That means that it'll charge up to 14.8, and the battery said it's okay with that. And then its absorption time is 4.5 hours before it goes into float. Now, something I don't know is why it even cares how long I set that absorption time, because by my thinking, this thing should be designed to know when it's absorbed enough and it kicks into float. So that would be a question for the blue sky people. But you could see that it's registering properly. If yours is blinking and you're going, what? I did everything that it said to do. It's because you tied the ground from the photovoltaic into the ground of the battery, and that's why it's blinking. This one's not blinking, so we didn't do that. So that's all you ever should need to know about the 3000i. Now all we have to do is make it look good. You're done, man. You're charging. You are 13.6 is what your batteries are reading, and you're putting 11.1 volts in here. If you want, this right here tells you what every time you push the button you're doing. Right now you're at voltages amps. Now we're just voltage. Now we're just amps out. Is that right? No, that's amps in. See the light? Amps in. So we're putting 11.1 amps in. So if all you want to do is look at the amps in, make sure that you got your little light bulb there and you're putting 11.1 amps in. Continuing around amp hours. We put 9.3 amp hours in. 9.2 amp hours in is what it's coming in at. And then auxiliary voltage, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. Off. Should be nothing. There's off. Now we're going to come back to the original one, which is where I leave mine. 13.6 is your surface charge, and you're putting 11 amps an hour in at this rate. Both of these lights are lit up, which means you're absorbing. Eventually, when these things are topped off, this light will drop off and it'll go to float. At night, when there's no light hitting the panels, you'll hear this thing click, and it'll just give you the voltage until the morning, and then it'll click again, and it'll go back to this. That's it. Now we just have to put everything, all the molding in, and screw this in really easily. Now, instead of me just putting some little screws in here, which it came with the screws, I'm going to take a little tiny bit and I'm going to drill. This is particle board, so it's probably okay, but we spent so much time making it look nice. Let's hit it with our pilot bit, and I'll just give you an example. Something like this is okay. We're just going to zip, 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 zip. Then we're going to use the proprietary screws that came in the box. That's done. Molding's on. His job is done. They're solar snobs.
Yeah, probably.
I've got Mike's camera, and we're just wrapping up on the install. We got the panels up. He's putting the molding back where we hid some wiring so it looks like it came from the factory. As I move this camera, the lens moves, so it's got some kind of a gimbal built into it. This is freaking amazing. Look at this camera. Watch this. Watch. Look, Larry. Watch.
Oh, wow. It's a little gyro in there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Freaking robotic. There's the man of the hour putting the molding back on.
Getting it in there.
Let's take a look. This is when Mike was having fun, when you're watching this. All right, let's put it back.
Well, you could have.
We knew we had to have the trunk line.
Get it up your chest.
You knew we had to have the trunk line done. How are we going to get power?
I told you, man. Never let it on your chest. Drink a beer. I got you a beer, too.
Thank you. I cut those, man.
Man, don't be so girlish, all right?
Don't follow.
Hey,
don't follow.
wait a minute. Just a minute. Is the honorary girl.
Don't shock me.
Yeah. All right, like usual.
Whatever. I didn't even say anything that you didn't have this trunk line in while I was gone. I wouldn't mind going back down. That ride was so fun. Larry cut this hole. That's why I'm fighting it so bad.
Sad.